So let's discuss the next questions. This was asked in 2017. So it says one of the implications of equality in society is the absence of what, right? So let's see the options. That absence of what will lead to the existence of equality. So privileges, yes, privileges should not be in the society. Privileges should not be in society. Why the privileges? It is important that privileges should absent from society, because if you see, the privilege is a social theory that special rights or advantages are available only to a particular persons or a group of persons, right? Whereas equality is to be everyone. Everyone should given an equal opportunity, equal status. It's not like that it should be restricted to only a particular group. If something, some rights are equal, if some rights are only restricted to particular group, it means that is not a right but it is a privilege. So it is necessary that for the existence of equality, the privileges should not be there in the society. So because of this, the privilege is our answer, a perfect answer to this, right? Now, why the restraint cannot be the answer? So restraint means restriction. In a very common language, restraints means restrictions, and as all we know, liberty without restriction is an absolute liberty. So if there is an absolute liberty, it means that there will be an anarchical situations in the country or in a society, and this anarchy in the society will lead to the inequality. That will lead to the inequality. That will again, it will establish the privileges for a particular group. So to avoid anarchy or inequality, it is necessary that restriction should avail, or restriction should present in a society which restrict one's enjoying its liberty, and through that equality will prevail in the society. Is it clear? Okay. Now if you see, the term the privilege is commonly used in the context of social inequality, particularly in regard to age, disability, ethnic or racial category, gender identity, sexual orientation, religion, and social or classes. Clear? So this is an answer. Okay. Let's move to the next questions. Next questions is a repeated questions which was asked in 2020, and we have already seen in this questions number 11, and this was asked in 2017. So question says the main advantage of parliamentary form of government. Again, we have seen the parliamentary form of government. So we'll see the advantages. What are the advantages of this? Means feature of the parliamentary form of government. So it says the executive and legislature work independently. No, they works interdependent. So executive and legislature are interdependent. They are not independent. The characteristic of being a legislature and executive interdependent is a feature of presidential form of government, not a feature of parliamentary form of government. Is it clear? So this is not our answer. Next, it provides continuity of policies and is more efficient. Parliamentary form of government is continuity. No, it is not stable government, because it forms on a basis of majority party rule, because it forms on a basis of accountability. So right, because executives are interdependent to legislature, so it is in the hand of legislature to held accountable of the executive. So this is also not our answer. C, the executive remains responsible to legislature. Yes, executives are responsible to legislature. Why? Because executives are member of an legislature, so they have to be responsible to legislature, and particularly legislature means lower house, or in terms of India it is an Lok Sabha. So the most appropriate options or most appropriate answer would be that executive remains responsible to the Lok Sabha. Is it clear? So this is our answer. C is answer, which we have already seen in question number 11, which was asked in 2020. So if we revisit the question 11, so here you can see that parliamentary system, the constitution seeks to establish a parliamentary form of government both for center and state. Indian parliamentary systems distinction is made between nominal and real executive. We have already seen the parliamentary system of government hold executive accountable to the lower house, and this is the main advantages of the parliamentary form of गवर्नमेंट. ठीक है. सो थ्रू दिस वी कैन सी देख अभी तक जो हमने डिस्कस किया आप ये देखिए कि मेजॉरिटी 4 to 5 क्वेश्चंस आर बीन रिपीटेड दो लैंग्वेज चेंज है बट द कंसेप्ट इज सिमिलर. तो इस सीरीज से जो इंट्रोस्पेक्शन आई है सीरीज लेकर के आई है इससे आपको हेल्प ये मिलेगा कि एक बार आपका कंसेप्ट क्लियर हो गया. ये थोड़ा सा टाइम टेकिंग है. आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज अ टाइम टेकिंग. आपको लग रहा हो कि थोड़ा सा टाइम ले रहे हैं सर, बट believe me, once this series is completed, the whole series of questions of prelims questions, you will be in a very comfortable positions. You immediately or instantly you can answer the questions which is going to be asked in UPSC. So our aim is to make your concept clear. Confidence should be in your concept. That's why we are taking time and we are discussing each of the questions along with the each of the options. ठीक है. So now we will move to the next questions. Again, next question has been repeated questions, though not directly repeated, but on the basis of conceptual questions asked in 2021. So let's see the first. We will see the questions, then we will move to the question number 4 to understand this. This question was asked in 2014. So the question says, consider the following statement. A constitutional government is one which. Now again, a constitutional government means the concept of constitutionality. Constitutionalism has been asked. On the basis of that, the government on a base of constitution, which the first statement, which place effective restrictions on individual liberty in the interest of state authority. No. Constitutional government which place restriction on government. It limits the government. It limits the government. Right? Not the individual. Not individual liberty. There is no restriction on individual liberty. Constitutional government means it does not restriction on individual liberty. Rather, it is putting restrictions on government. So this is not our answer. Second options, a constitutional government is one which place effective restrictions on authority of the state in the interest of individual. Yes, this is an constitutional government or constitutionalism, which is a concept of limited government. So our answer is B. That is only 2 is correct. Clear? Now if we revisit the question number 4, which was asked in 2021, that is a constitutional government means. So constitutional government is a government that runs according to constitution of land. It refers to a government which is limited by the constitution. So constitutional government means limited by constitutions, which might be written or unwritten. The rules and policies of government are limited by a constitution which describes the basic law of the land. A constitution is a set of established principles according to which a state is governed. Is it clear? So आप इस सीरीज के थ्रू ये चीज तो आप रियलाइज किया हो आपने कि अगर एक बार आपने कंसेप्ट के ऊपर काम कर लिया, एंड द यूपीएससी इज ऑफ अ टाइप वेयर though the exact question is not repeated, but the concept are repeating itself in the questions in prelims. So we need to work on the concept. Clear? Now if we move to the next questions, again it is asked in 2017. So question says, in the context of India, which one of the following is correct relationship between rights and duties? So the first option is correct, that rights are correlative with duties, that is rights are related to duties, right? Now we'll see why the first is correct, the others are incorrect. So let's start discussion with the next options. Now the second option says that rights are personal. Yes, rights are personal. It is not collective or social, but it is a personal. Every individual through constitution has given their personal rights, and hence independent of society and state or duty. No. This is true, but this is not true. Rights, though rights, your right is your personal right. वो आपका पर्सनल है, बट वो सोसाइटी से इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं है, वो ड्यूटी से इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं है. आप जो राइट्स एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हो, आप वो एब्सोल्यूट राइट नहीं है. गवर्नमेंट आपके राइट्स पे एक्सरसाइज पे रेस्ट्रिक्शंस लगा सकती है. Why the government will put restrictions, may impose restrictions? Because that your exercise of your right should not convert into the absolute right. And if there is an absolute right given to one individual, it becomes a privileges, as we have already seen. And the privileges cannot be a right. So right is an everyone's claim. It is not a privilege, right? So rights cannot be an independent of society and duty. So this is cannot be our answer. Again, if you see, we have what discussed previously about the equality in the absence privileges. It is on the same basis concept. If you see the next options, rights, not duties, are important for the advancement of personal of citizens. So rights is important, but duty is also important. If we see the rights and duties together, so duties help you to be in discipline. It help you to understand the other's requirement, because you duty will restrict you. Duty is imposing restrictions on individual also. You should respect other one's right, right? Whereas right is also giving you opportunity, giving an opportunity to the lowest person of a country, person of country, to enhance his life, right? So this together, the combination of rights and duties will enhance the personality of individual. So only rights or only duty cannot do this. So this is also incorrect. Now the last options, that duties not rights are important for stability of the state. No, it is not again true, because duties and rights both are necessary to stabilize the state. So because of this, the A becomes automatically a true options or a correct options, that rights and duties are related to each other. They are not segregated, or they are not the different thing. We can say that these are the two sides of same coins, two sides of two sides of same coin. Clear? So because of this, A is true. Now if you see that the Indian Constitution as the country's supreme law serve as a guide for all its citizens by establishing the framework for various fundamental rights. Two of these fundamentals are citizen rights and responsibilities, that is duties. As we know, the Indian Constitution has provided a fundamental right and fundamental duties. So duties and rights both are fundamental in nature. Fundamental means important. So both are important. If we see, the nomenclature of the rights and duties has been with the fundamental rights and fundamental duties. ठीक है, और fundamental का मतलब हमेशा importance होता है. That's why there is a suffix of fundamental attached to both rights and duties. Every right entails a responsibility against towards another individual, as we have discussed. Every opportunity entails an obligations, that is restrictions, and every possession entails a duty. Rights and duty go hand in hand. Example, rights are correlative with, that is duty. The rights to receive something entails the obligation to pay for it. Alright, if you are enjoying the freedom of speech, it means you have a responsibility also to respect other rights. The fundamental rights and fundamental duties provisions of the Constitution specify the state's fundamental obligation to its citizens, as well as citizens' duty and rights towards the state. Is it clear? So this is how we have seen rights and duties are correlative. Now let's move to the next questions. Next question was asked in 2017. So the question says, which one of the following statement is correct? We need to find a correct statement. Again, it is based on a right. So if we see the question 2019 and 16 is basically works on a same concept. Okay. Now I can say that you will be, or you are in a very good position to answer the questions, 20 number questions, on the base of discussions on the concept based questions. Okay. So if you see the first option, that rights are claim of a state against the citizens, no, this is what we have seen. This is again, we can say it is a repeated questions. Rights are privileges which are incorporated in the constitution of state, no, rights cannot be the privilege. If there is a privilege, there is no rights. If right, there is no privilege. Privilege is basically for, as we have already discussed, that privilege is restricted to certain individuals. This is a restricted, limited. This is limited for few, whereas rights is available for everyone. Available for everyone. So rights cannot be the privilege. So this is cannot be the answer. Rights are claim of citizen against the state. Yes, it is true. Again, this question number 20, is again a repeated questions. If you see, it is from the repetitions of question number 18, which was asked in 2014, that is constitutional government. So rights are claim of citizens against the state on the same basis. So a D cannot be also. Why? Because rights are privilege. No, it is not a privilege. So this is been wiped out. Now let's see. So rights are claim of a citizen of India against the state. They prevent the establishment of an authoritarian and despotic rule in country and protect liberties and freedom of people against the invasion of state. Rights are legal, social, and ethical principles of freedoms or entitlement. That is, rights are fundamental normative rules about what is allowed of people or owed to the people. So this is rights.